What's up, fellow Final Fantasy XIV players? This is Jay with EpicReset Gaming, here to give you a quick tip. Today's quick tip is going to be about the map. A lot of people have been saying they have been having problems with the mapping system and that it's just horrendous. Now, there was a few quirks that I've had with it, but most of all, if you learn how to use a lot of its features, I tend to not have these problems that people are having. So first of all, before you even bring up your map using the square button on your controller or the M key on your keyboard, take a look at your minimap. Your minimap is usually located by default in the top right hand corner of your user interface. Now if you notice, mine's a little bit bigger than normal. To adjust this, you basically just go to your heads up display layout, choose your minimap, and then adjust its size by pressing the R3 button. You see, default it's this middle size. I like mine larger. You could have it smaller, but I tend to like to have mine larger for a few reasons, and these are it. If you take a look at your minimap right now, the larger you have it, the less likely that you're going to have to pull up this huge map that takes up, like a lot of your screen on the PS3. You could adjust this size, but I tend to find that this size is a lot more navigatable, if that's even a word. But we'll get to that later. Right now we're going to talk about the minimap. First of all, if you notice the minimap, it's got your coordinates down here, it's got the time of day with your sun right here, and it's got your northeast, southwest, etc. Now, you may notice a few buttons here. You could zoom in or out. I like to zoom mine in just a little bit so I could see a little space between icons. And this setting right here, to lock and unlock it, decides whether your compass is going to move. So right now, as you can see, when I move, north is still up, east is still right, west is still left. So now that you know that, if you unlock it, you might like it to be where when it's unlocked, when you're moving, the direction you're moving changes on the minimap. As you can see, west is now up top, south is now up top, east is now up top. I like this setup. It's a little bit more animated, but depending on how you like it, just set it up that way. Now, moving on to some of your icons on your minimap. Use these to your advantage. When you see these, you could actually navigate to them well without pulling up your map. So as you can see, right here, we have a level 10 fate called Copied Paste. Play on word. Nice. Anyway, yeah, you could just head that way. You just know in that general direction, in this particular area, there's a fate. Same with your quest icons. They tend to show up on the outer ring, and all you really have to do is just head towards that direction. Now, if you want to be specific into which one you're heading to, then you could always reference your map. I tend to reference my map rather than walking around with my map open. So let's take a look at our map. If you press square or M on your keyboard to bring up the map, you have your coordinates up at the top right, and you can resize it, and you have your basic map layout with your interface buttons on the left. I tend to stay at the normal zoom level when just looking where I'm at, but if I want to see things a little bit more clearly, like for example Horizon, where I'm at right now, everything's cluttered. So make sure that you zoom in or out so that you can see exactly what you're looking at. Makes things a lot more navigatable. So zooming out, you can see that there are several things around here. There's another town over here called Crescent Cove. Then here's Vesper Bay. You'll be going a lot there to Manila, I believe her name is. But I don't want to give any spoilers away, so we'll just keep this to the map. What you want to notice on your map is that you have several buttons. You could look at your world map. You can center your location so that you're always in the middle. You can turn off the text. I wouldn't recommend turning off the text because it takes away all these words and you kind of don't know where you're going. See? Not cool. Not cool. So, when you start moving, you might notice that the map gets transparent. Now, you can navigate like this, but I tend to find that some people run into walls and stuff because they tend to stare at mostly the map and not their character. Like I said, these maps aren't incredibly detailed. So Another thing that I've noticed that people have problems with is, for example, if they have a quest which requires them to go to a new area where they haven't really explored yet. Now there's a neat feature that I don't know if a lot of you know, but if you navigate your crosshair on your map, you notice that you could actually click things. See how Central Thanalan is highlighted when I put my cursor over it? Basically, if you have a quest area that tells you that you can go, it'll usually show up like around here. It notes that your quest is in Central Thanalan. So to get there, or really to navigate there efficiently, check your map out, click on Central Thanalan, and it'll bring you to exactly where it's going to take you. Then you can go and find out where it is. Now, if you haven't been there yet, obviously you'll have what's called Fog of War. You can't really see the details, but you can see the general direction that you're going to go. So that makes navigating the map a lot easier. For example, we can go here, click the Southern Thanalan, and it'll take us to another map. Now that is how I've learned to adapt to this map, because the very first quest that actually made me kind of irritated because I couldn't find it was, I think it was Pirates. And that quest, when you pick it up in Limsa Lomanisa, it puts the quest icon in the middle of the water, and I just couldn't figure out where to go. The journal, which if you bring it up, will tell you whatever you need to do. It said talk to the yellow jacket at the entrance of Shashashta. Well, I didn't know where the crap Shashashta was. I didn't know it was near airport. But if I knew that bringing it up in your journal, obviously you could bring things up in your map in your journal, and I knew that already. But when you bring things up, you can see that this quest is in La Noscia. So when you click it, it also tells you that it's in Eastern La Noscia. So if you click Eastern La Noscia, you could find wherever the heck you need to go. Now my quest icon is actually to go to Brayflock's Long Stop, and so I don't have an icon on it, but essentially that's how you navigate the maps with your quests. And like I said, make sure that if you don't know exactly where to go, it'll tell you in your quest log if you just click this map button. Now, you might get confused when you just see a freaking icon in the middle of nowhere, but what it's essentially there for is for you to click on. You just click on, and you're there. And that's pretty much it. I hope that alleviates a lot of problems that people have been having with the maps. Let me know if this helped you and if you want to see something else. Once again, this is Jay with EpicReset Gaming. It was a little bit longer than I wanted to be, but I hope it helped. Peace.